Hello, 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 and welcome to Unique Leaders Live. I'm Megan DiMartino, and it is Friday, and it's time for Unique Leaders. Today, I have a special guest, Eric Zuley, and he is, without a doubt, a unique leader. And as I always say, the success is in the story, and there'll always be a surprise during our Unique Leaders Live. Eric is a phenomenon in the entertainment industry. He'll share his story, how he put all of what he does together, and his thread of all of this. And in this, as I share with you, is the success. We all say, wow, how could we do this? Well, guys, everyone can do this. I don't mean just what Eric does, but meaning that in these stories, there is that success, and you will see yourself. So I can't wait for you to meet Eric Zuley with Easy Way Network, and his background and his bio, which we did put in the social media pieces, is so extensive. So over this story, you'll meet and learn about Eric Zuley and how he put together this amazing Easy Way Network. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my guest, Eric Zuley. Hello, hello, Eric.
Hey, how you doing, Megan? Thanks so much for having me on.
I'm doing well. And I was so looking forward to having you with me today, Eric, because you're just an amazing gentleman that has done so much and continues to do so much. And I don't want to say too much because that richness is in this story. So let's go back to young Eric and let our viewers and our guests know a little bit about you, what your heart was when you were a young guy. I assume, don't know this for sure, but you grew up in Southern California?
Yep.
Okay. And so just share a little bit about that, and what was the fertilizer that created this Easy Way Network and all that you do today?
Well, growing up in Orange County, California, Southern California, I played sports, loved people, and loved God, and had a great dad slash mom, and just loved people and figuring out who they are. I played a lot of video games. In fact, what made Easy Way what it is, made me what I am, is really video games, believe it or not, because when you play strategy video games, it really helps to exercise your mind. It helps you to think faster. And I played a lot of Zelda and Warcraft and Starcraft and strategy games that make you really have to exercise your mind. It was almost like training for the mind to think in a different capacity. Then I got into I played a lot of sports. I did a lot of sales. I had a lot of sales training with CompUSA. I ended up getting a whole team under me. I've done mortgages. I've done, just a lot of sales training, which I think is very, very important to have that sales knowledge, to have people understand what it is you're trying to get across, as well as qualifying. Qualifying is so unbelievably important, and listening to people. Right?
So let's stop for a sec, though. So you went from video games and sports, and of course your parents, but then you jumped into sales. So let us know a little bit about your parents, your dad and your mom, and what, because we all are influenced by who is around us as we're growing up. There's always individuals that truly motivate our dreams, goals, and desires. So who might have that been, but also share a little bit about your father and mom.
Well, my dad is, he's a miracle himself. My dad almost died twice of lymphoma cancer. My mom passed away about 5 years ago. Had more of a relationship with my dad. And if you want to talk about God stories and miraculous stories, people said that my dad wasn't going to make it, stage 4 lymphoma, and he actually survived twice. He beat it twice because of faith. And, having someone like that, growing up with someone like that, really helps to motivate you. And then at the same time, when my dad actually got diagnosed with lymphoma, he actually lost his real estate properties. He had Hurricane Katrina come in, And it's funny. Hurricane Katrina was going one way, and then it found out about my dad's property, so it decided to turn and say hello. But watching my dad go through that and then still keeping his faith, keeping his head up, and keep moving was very motivational, for me. On the sales side of things, I think that life is sales. Everything in life has to do with selling. I mean, the Biden and Trump were selling themselves on who's better. When you're doing programs or when you're on streaming, you're selling somebody to follow you and become a follower. Like, life is sales. Yes. And so I kind of figured that that's pretty important. And I was blessed to have like sales training for free with CompUSA. And then I was blessed to have a gift from God to be able to have the ability to absorb and adopt whatever it is that I'm that's new, mm-hmm. whatever I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of implement that and put it into my stuff. And so I put that training into my life. And then, believe it or not, Megan, I ended up getting into freestyle rapping. So I call myself an entrepreneur or a preacher-tainer. I like to dance, I like to rap, and I like to just be unique. I like to be original. Unique. Mm-hmm. And I like to very not blatantly in your face, but preach and draw people to the light. I always say, we like to unite the light. And so everything that I do, every client that we have, everything that we're involved in, we try to do that. And I think that you get rewarded when you do that.
Absolutely. I mean, you shared so much right there. Unite the light. That is going to be one of my quotes from Eric Zuley, truly, because that is about being open and then letting the light shine out through you to others. It's just a great, great quote. So how old were you when you went through training with CompUSA?
I think it was about 17 and 18.
Oh, so very young. So very mm-hmm. young. And so mm-hmm. you just you were drawn to that because you're a highly motivated individual and a curious person, mm-hmm. Which, obviously through all, like you said, about your video games and the mind. So you're very curious. And so you were introduced to that. And because I have been in sales all my life, the traditional, if you want to call it, but I look at sales as an information giver, mm-hmm. Sharing information with people and helping them with their needs. So it's identifying what their needs are as well. Mm-hmm. So you have obviously done that as, during your training, learned that and continued on with that. And so you had success in sales. Share a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I worked at CompUSA, it never fails. Your nose always itches when you're on camera or something like that. I'm trying not to scratch my nose, but it's driving me crazy. When you're in a position to, this is what I say to your audience. If you're in a position to adopt knowledge that's going to help your life, really pay attention and learn and get everything that you can and take it real seriously. And I knew that this was going to be something very important to me. And in sales, there's certain strategical steps. There's recognizing buying signals, rapport. There's like a science to it. And if you know that science and you apply it to life, you apply it to everything else, you're able to make money and get funding and build things and stuff. And I think that's one of the reasons that we're at where we're at now today. And we have the affiliates that we have and everything that we have, because it takes money to make the world go around. Nobody does anything for free. Well, some people do. I know I did for the last 15 years to get where I am. But I think that the blessing that I had with CompUSA to be able to get that type of sales training was a very big, blessing in my life. And I feel like every time you get a blessing, you need to bless others. Every time you get served, you need to serve. The law of attraction, and what goes around comes around. I really believe in that. And so we've built a pretty amazing empire, and one of the biggest things we do is make sure that the sales piece is there with that client. And I mean, I don't know which direction you want me to go. I can go through the science of sales if you want.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, so you had great success with them. And then from there, when did you?
Okay, so I'll give you, for instance, now I know what you're saying. So I was the type of guy that someone would come in for computer cleaner, mm-hmm. and be walking away with a computer and warranties and everything. Their shopping cart would be filled because I really found out who they were and what their story was and how their family worked, and really like, okay, this is what you need and this is why you need it, and this is how much it's going to help you, how much more money it's going to save you, how much more efficient it's going to be for you, how much more stress you're going to be relieving because of this and this and this, because I qualify a lot of people. I mean, I probably listen for an hour before I even try to sell something.
You know, a quote that or an acronym of the word lead that I have heard that resonates with me is a leader leading is listening and then encouraging and assisting and developing daily. Mm-hmm. So like you just said, you know, it is about in that listening and helping. And that obviously that structure, what you learned there has led you to Easy Way, because now, you know, I'm listening to you, Eric, and I can hear your words. I mean, the words you're sharing about sales, I can see how you've emulated that and taken that to the foundation of Easy Way, what you're doing, because you're not just doing, you're sharing and you're helping others. Mm-hmm. So from CompUSA, how long and what else did you do between the time that you started Easy Way?
Okay, so I went from CompUSA to getting into making music, believe it or not, and rapping. And so as I was making money from CompUSA, mm-hmm. I ended up investing, as well as my dad was nice enough to invest into a studio, because I didn't want to work for somebody else my whole life. I wanted to kind of start my own business. Mm-hmm. And so we built a studio in Orange County, and I once again absorbed and adopted knowledge in making music and engineering and producing and Pro Tools and all that type of stuff. We invested probably $50,000 into building all that equipment, and we would have people come in, and what I'd do is I look at all the businesses and what they charge, and typically they would charge $150 an hour for studio time to come in and record your music or make music, whatever. And so what they charge, I would always charge 25% less. Mm-hmm. And whatever someone charged, I would always drop my stuff 25%. And sometimes it was hard, but I would always beat out all the competition. I'd get all the business. And we got to a point where people were coming in. We were getting an average of like 20, 30 something people a week that wanted to do studio time with us. You know, and as I was doing the studio time, I ended up meeting a producer who brought a music group in, and you know, he was into television. He was into Hollywood and all that type of stuff. And so I ended up working with a gentleman that was teaching me some great stuff. And basically through that situation, I ended up getting another relationship, and I ended up getting offered to be on stage and perform. And so one thing that I always tell people is, whenever you get an opportunity, seize that opportunity as best you can. Create the ambiance, create the presentation, create that opportunity that's going to create another stepping stone to your success as best as you possibly can. And so I rented a limousine, I dressed the nine, I hired models wearing my clothes, and I showed up looking proper and doing my thing. I think I did great on stage because I had people coming up to me. And one of the people that came up to me was a publicist saying, "Wow, I love your charisma, I love your ambiance, I love this, I love that. I'm a publicist in Hollywood, this is what I do." And it turned out that publicist actually knew that same producer. And so sure enough, I was introduced to Hollywood from that situation. So I went down there. Now that situation turned into another situation, which was the microphone. Okay. And I always tell people, you can build your success through one microphone. It's one of the things I teach. And so when you have a microphone, you have all the power. You just need to really learn how to harness it and how to use it, just like this vehicle that we're on right now. Mm-hmm. It's very powerful to have a show. Well, in my case, I was doing red carpets. I had the opportunity to interview people on red carpets and things like that. And I still remember the first event that I had the opportunity to be on, which is called the Bonner Gold International Trade Show. Do you remember Morris Day and the Time?
Yeah, yeah.
So I met Morris Day and the Time, and it was my first experience of this like really cool thing. But I just had a natural ability about me. And so when I had the opportunity to get another stepping stone to success, I think the biggest thing that made me where I am today is because I always did it my way, hence Easy Way. I do it my way, and I don't care what you have to say. Oh, wow. I'm always a leader. Okay. And so when they came to me with scripts and they're like, you got to do it this way and you got to do it that way, and here's our rules, I'm like, you're not really going to get what I know I can give you. And so maybe this isn't for me. And they're like, okay, whatever. It's your audition. It's your funeral. And I did a lot better because I was comfortable in my own skin. I was comfortable doing me. Right. And then I was able to just really expand a lot from there. I got into PR, social media, events. I've done 500 something events, raised millions of dollars in charity and so on and so forth.
So I want to go back to one thing you said because it's so important. You said that you prepared for that evening, meaning the limo, your clothing, you were mentally prepared. And that is so, when I personally, and I started this years ago, but when I had an important meeting to do, I would go through how to win friends and influence people again, just kind of I'm sharing, but it's still pertinent today. I know people a little older than you, but not as, more contemporary of yours that does the same, meaning that they prepare for that. And it's like you said earlier, that mental, preparing for that mental, and you prepare for that all the time. And so that is key, folks, to prepare to interface with other people. And that's what you were doing. You were getting ready because you knew it was such an important event for you that it was going to catapult you.
Yeah, and I think too that you need to always be remembered. You need to always stand out. Whenever I have an opportunity to do something, even though a lot of people have said, I don't think you should do that, I still do it because it's me. And so I wear a baseball cap. Not many people wear a baseball cap with their brand on, but you always remember me. I wear computer glasses. It's just a different look. It's a feel. So when I went to that event, I had a lot of opportunities that came actually and you got to follow up. Follow up is the key to success, period. But people always remember who I am based upon how my ambiance and my presentation is. And I think I had a lot of great opportunities that came to me that day, and as well as all other days that I do things, because of the way my presentation, the ambiance, the way the perception is, the way I'm perceived. People are like, this guy's different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the more different and unique you can be, the more people are going to be interested. That mystery is there. So create that mystery.
But you also said about the easy way. I love that because I had that aha, because you said that's another point that's so important, is that you're being you. Yes, you're creating, that uniqueness. Absolutely. I understand that. But on the other side of the coin, you are doing it your way, as you said, that comfort zone. You're not trying to be someone else. You're not. You're you. So you're a creative individual. And so you're creating that persona, but you're being yourself. And that's another piece that I would love you to spend a minute on for our listeners, because people, I see this all the time. They're trying to, and it's in social media, it's very dangerous because people are trying to be somebody or something they're not. And it's key to own who you are. Key.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think brand identity is really the key and where it starts. Mm-hmm. And you need to just find what's in your heart, what's in your mind, who you are, and then build that look and that appearance around what it is you really want to do. Mm-hmm. If you cook food and you have, what is that really unique niche that you have that nobody else has? And you have to build around that. Me, I'm a connector. I'm a master connector. I'm a man of faith. But ultimately, I'm a connector. When it comes to connecting with the right people in your niche market, and being with the right relationships and not wasting your time to get to the right relationships, that's where I always have lived. That's my safe space. And then I expanded from there. And then you build that team around you that does all this other amazing stuff. And so that's what you have to do, is you have to really find that uniqueness about you that makes something that creates a solution for that client, or however you're trying to build your income. But what makes you unique and different? The key word is different. You need to find that thing that makes you different, makes you more unique, and that only you can offer. And sometimes that takes time. Like when we work with clients and we design brands, that's one of the first things that we do is we go through a lot of qualification and evaluation and past story, past history, what's your story, and really learn who they are and what matters. Like me, okay, for instance, I said, Megan, that I'm about God, right? Well, my brand, if you look at my brand, Easy Way, it's gold for a reason, because the pearly gates of heaven is gold. The golden fleece, gold represents God as far as I'm concerned. And then you have to have that uniqueness. If you look real closely, it's a small E and a big Z.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that uniqueness,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then way is I do it my way, and I don't care what you have to say. So I do me, and we have a unique way that you can follow a movement. We have a cool movement. And then if you really look closely, you see the little broadcast thing. That means we can get you out there, right? So that brand has a statement. It has an identity. So once you find that, then you can move to everything else. And there's a billion other things that you need to do. But it starts with the name, the look, the feel, the ambiance, the perception. It starts with that. Always.
Always. Always. And as our dear friend Sharon Lecter says, and you said this, solve a problem, serve a need.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're doing that in helping others build, but like you said, it's the brand, the identity, and then not waffling and vacillating and saying, oh, maybe I'll go over to this shiny object or over there, or maybe we'll change it. You're clear on who you are and what you are, and stay with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that your identity, your / logo is so special, not only to you, but when people understand that, that's your identity. And that is, you're a God guy and you're sticking with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And don't be afraid when other people come to you and say something. Okay, don't be afraid to be you. There's a lot of people are going to always come to you, and a lot of times they're going to self-sabotage. They're going to secretly sabotage because they're jealous of you. And even with friends, and even with inner circle people, don't be afraid to be you, no matter how dangerous or how scary it may be. Don't be afraid to be proud of God. If you're proud of God, if you're a man of God, if you're a woman of God, don't be afraid to be proud of God. Don't listen to people saying, "Oh, don't use religion in the industry because blah 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 blah," and you'll hear that. And I had a ton of people come to me and tell me that, and I shouted his name on the rooftop that much more, and so many more doors opened for me because I went with my gut, my heart, what I wanted to do. Don't get strayed aside when you're on a path.
So critical, so critical. Both you and I could sit here, like you shared about your dad, and his, miracle, like you said twice. I mean, I could share some of my miracles, but this is all about you today. But it is most important, I feel, for our viewers to know what you just said. It's not something you should hide under a bushel if you feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you should be own, and then share it in an appropriate fashion, and you'll figure that out too, because you have done that as well. Because you said it. You said, I don't just preach, like you said, you do it in your own way, but you have, but it is part of who you are. And again, that's that authentic self. Being authentic is key to
it's
this.
part of who you are and who you hang with.
Mm-hmm. Well,
make sure you associate yourself with as many people as you can that goes down your path. Mm-hmm. That's going to keep you motivated. Your team and your affiliates and your associations. It's everything. And so Megan DiMartino and Sophia. Oh, there's Sophia. Hi, Sophia. I didn't even see Sophia. And so and the power of association. Me and Sharon Lecter talk about this all the time. The power of association is key. And I mean, I can go down a lot of different roads. So I want you to be the quarterback. But I think this is a really important piece of advice.
No, I want you to, with these nuggets, absolutely.
Okay.
We're kind of dancing here, and I want you to, because this is.
I told you, Megan, I'm a freestyler. I'm off the top of the head, so you never know what's going to get with me. So
exactly.
But when you're associated to people, when you're involved with people, you want to tap into it. It's not about the person; it's about the community behind the person. It's about what's behind the person, behind their business, and it's about finding that win-win that allows you to get that key to open that doorway to their connections, to their crowd, to their community. But you don't use them, and it took me a long time to really master that. And when I mastered that, we got up to 50,000 a week or so in our little social network and what we're doing. And nowadays it's all about television. It's all about streaming. It's all about what we're doing right now, because where are the eyeballs right now? Baby boomers, millennials, every Generation X, they're all right now on the computer, the mobile phone, or the television set. And we went down the road of the television set, and people are trying to figure out how to make money right now at their house. How do they make money in their office? How do they make money with the COVID craziness? So we've been mastering and studying and making sure that we've learned the best way to monetize content. And we've mastered literally 10 different ways to monetize content. in repurposing content, rebroadcasting content, licensing content, pay to play, product placement, and we've actually gotten the agencies on board and stuff now too. So we're just creating this like amazing solution for shows.
Mm-hmm.
Create your own show. If you don't have it, create your own show. If you have it, come, or go to YouTube and make 1 cent. You know what I mean? Like, so right now, the best advice I would give everybody that I've learned is go do your research as much as you possibly can in the world of content, period. Go on Google.
Define content.
Anything that you make with your phone, anything that you're posting on Facebook, doing a live stream, doing a Zoom, because the power in repurposing content and rebroadcasting content and making money while you're sleeping and letting that content work for you, you don't work for the content. You need to really learn, and then you build the memberships, you build the actual relationships that are associated to that content. Mm-hmm. It's so unbelievably powerful. And what we're doing is we're building, motherships that are shooting battleships out. So we're building networks that are doing the whole content thing. Sorry, I don't mean to. Earthquake. And so master your content. When you do a live stream, see, a lot of people are just doing a live stream right now on social media, and then that's it. Then they go off and they do something else. Well, if you have some good information, like this is some good information, I think you can take this content and you can edit it and you can repurpose it. You can put it into a website. You can put it on Roku, Apple, Amazon. You can work with people like us and we get massive distribution, and you can figure out how to make monetization happen from that 1 half-an-hour content. You can take 5 minutes of that half-an-hour content, that main 5 minutes, and get people to pay you $1 a month to have access to it. There's so many things that you can do with content. And so we've been not only mastering it ourselves, but getting other experts to be able to expand that message on it. And right now it's the number one thing a business needs to learn is content.
Do you feel that I'm thinking about myself actually, and I've been in business for many years, and I'm very clear on who I am and my message. But this is a whole new world, and so many people. That's why I should define content, because many people are on doing lives, just popping on their phone. That's not necessarily what you're speaking about with content, correct? You have to have.
No. I mean, the world of licensing content, of getting the permission to use someone else's content that's good content that draws in traffic, and then be able to establish, advertisers behind that licensing deal is huge. I mean, we're working on a $120,000 deal right now to get advertisers and get bigger corporate advertisers on quarterly budgets, because of licensing a major movie that's going to bring in millions of people, so it's a matter of knowing how to get to the content and how to utilize it. And this is more for someone that actually is interested in a channel or has a channel and that type of conversation. Right. But on a streaming perspective, you got to think of who would be interested in the particular content that you're projecting and what type of audience is following that content. So right now, I think a lot of people want to follow this because we're giving some good information on how you make money at home, content, live streaming, how you can be successful and what my story is and whatever. And yes. Don't forget about you too, Megan. I bow to you too. You've done your thing. You sold companies. You're an expert too. So what I did is I created a very unique way to have consistent content. Okay. I make money from consistency, content, and conversion. Okay. The 3 C's. And when I do my show, I'm making anywhere from $500 to $5,000 per episode sometimes because of product placement and how I do that. You know what I mean? I'm making situations happen by breaking down certain segments and breaking down airtime, and I'm giving amazing information with amazing experts. And these experts are coming on that are unbelievable people that normally you pay for to get on your stage. You pay for to get on your show, to have a name like a Sharon Lecter or a Les Brown or a Jack Cannon, whatever, But if you figure out the master of winning, of the win-win, and you have the power of the media, you don't necessarily have to pay for that name. You don't necessarily have to pay what most people would have to pay. And so I think that the more the people get into content and media and making it to where the business is going to attract to them because of the power of the media that they have, the more successful people are always going to be. And that's what I learned. I learned how to really master media, master new media.
Right.
And everybody I go to, Megan, anybody I talk to, I haven't paid for anything, including stores I walk into for the last 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Like this tracksuit was sponsored. Actually was given to me by my girlfriend, but I have another tracksuit just like it was sponsored. That the hat was made for me, it was sponsored. The glasses, and you can get so much awesome stuff for service in exchange for advertising. For lead generation. Like, what does media do? Media generates leads.
That's right.
Lead generation is what every business on the planet wants. And if you offer data, then people are going to offer you value, right? And we just show you how to turn data into dollars.
So data to dollars. So basically, people are listening right now, Eric. And like you said, this is an amazing segment, folks. And I want you to really listen to this and listen to it again, because Eric is sharing so many wise, sage, but also practical pieces of information. You may not be ready to do exactly what he's saying yet, but again, as I always say, you must just start. That's why I feel personally that this show, by taking the individual, their story back to the beginning, because you see the thread of what you've done and how you've done it. And that way the individual isn't so discouraged by, oh, it's too late. That's one of my subtitles of my book. It's never too early or too late to create the life of your dreams, because you just have to identify what that is. And it may not, like you also said, it's not immediate, but start. You must start.
Do you mind, Megan, if just so people kind of know a little bit of my background, like I have a little minute sizzle. I could play if you give me the ability. You press.
Let's do it. Let's do a minute sizzle. Go ahead.
Thank you. Go ahead and give me the ability to click on that little window there that is on the bottom. There you go. Perfect. So this is my little minute sizzle and what I've done and how we can help other people and whatnot. And thank you.
Eric Zuley is an award-winning multimedia mogul, brand authority, visibility expert who knows how to create an influence effect around individuals and their businesses. Mr. Zuley owns Easyway Network, a media network powering their own radio, magazine, and TV network housing 10 channels, airing 30 shows with a potential reach of 320 million homes and mobile phones. He has been able to work affiliate marketing deals with over 120 affiliates, TV distribution deals with over 200 channels. He owns his own channel with over 18 sub-channels on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. He has over 500 events under his belt as a producer and host. He has hosted his own show, The Easy Show, and Easy Talk Live. He started out with one YouTube channel, which today has over 13,500,000 views and 8,000 subscribers. He is the creator of the globally known brand with thousands of celebrity and business influencer endorsements. As an authority in California, he has been given the Robert Novak Award, signed off and endorsed by Congressman Brad Sherman and Congresswoman Judy Chu. Eric was one of the first people to start using his cell phone as a producer's tool to create content, which he uploaded to his YouTube channel, What You Need TV, with close to 14 million viewers and hundreds of A-list celebrities. Eric has produced over 450 success events and raised millions for charity nonprofits.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's just kind of like, I hate talking about myself. So,
well, no, I do understand that, but it's important because you have so much information to share with people and hope and possibilities, because today that is what people need. I mean, we're in a true shift. I've lived a long time, and I have been through a lot of things. I went to college in the 60s when the cool thing to do was to march, and so I have seen shifts happen before, but nothing like this.
Now you march with your fingers, you type.
That's right. Exactly. But when I started my first business in 1992, there was you're talking about what your platform is. There was no website. There were no websites. There was no, hello, Surrey, tell me where to go, blah, blah, blah. There was nothing. So the only two channels of distribution were wholesale or brick and mortar. So I have had to truly, over the years, pivot, as they say, and evolve and continue to learn and grow. And when I decided that when someone approached me to buy this last brick and mortar, and I said, I don't want to sell the trade name, I don't want to sell the product line, but the brick and mortar, yes, let's talk about that. I said to my assistant, I said, okay, girl, we're getting ready to start again. you know? And so we just, that's how this show actually started, because when the beginning of the lockdown happened, I just knew in my spirit, I mean, God said, do not go dark. So
Mhm.
I just kept, creating, and this long story how this started, but it was interviewing someone who had something to say, and I wanted to support that person. I read something, I don't remember where this was. It might have been on your material, but that you were one of the first people to start using StreamYard,
Yeah, I
and
was.
now, I
I
mean,
wouldn't say I'm one of the first people. I was actually one of the first people to do stick. If you remember flip cam, the little USB flip cam, I was the face of that. I was one of the first people using that. But what I said was, I was one of the first people in my group, in my community, that really started using StreamYard. And yes, I was one of the first thousands of people. StreamYard is a big platform, but
sure.
I was one of the first people to really start using StreamYard as a show, okay, as a live professional produced show, not just a regular streaming show, but like professionally produced show that's ready for television. And then what I noticed is a lot of the people that are following our community, following the Easyway family members, hundreds of people started using StreamYard. Everybody started using it. So I just said, now that's what I call an influence effect, because that's what I do is we create influence effects. And you guys saw in the video, my book is called The Influence Effect, and we're working on a 5-book series right now. And it's so important to really understand what it is that you're wanting to do and how to create an influence effect. That's a really powerful word. Okay. And if you really dissect what is an influence effect, it goes into so many different directions. I mean, do you have a book? There's so many different things that you can do. TV is connected to a book. I always tell people, if you are wanting to build a business, you have a seed. It starts with a seed. This is my little metaphor, okay? It starts with a seed, and you need water, you need fertilizer, you need sunlight. You got to build that seed. That seed will then grow into a big tree. But the tree has to be a strong tree trunk. It has to be a strong foundation. And then that tree will then eventually start growing branches and leaves. And each branch is a division of what you're trying to do. Each branch is an idea, is a project. Then you have the leaves. And then you have each idea can grow fruit. Then you have the fruit falling, and you have to harvest the fruit. And you have to, And then you have the farm and the acreage that holds the tree. If you build multiple trees using that system, that's what I've done. And the saying goes, let's go for the low hanging fruit. Well, you got to build the tree to create the fruit. And you mentioned brick and mortar. Well, today it's a brick and mortar to a broadcast. It's not brick and mortar anymore. It's now a broadcast world. And so whether you're a baby boomer or you're a millennial, you better learn broadcast. You better learn social media. You better learn app-based. You better learn AI. Watch and see what happens with AI. I mean, there's already so much artificial intelligence stuff people don't even know, but the business and everything is going to AI. So you better do your research with the times. As the times transition and change, you better hire someone like me, or you better do your research.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I alluded to that in that, I have had to depend upon others. I mean, several friends call me their sponge, meaning because I'm always out there learning and growing. But I've had to also depend upon Elizabeth Hauser. I could never have done your sizzle reel. She's sitting here. She's my producer. I mean, I looked over at her sizzle reel, and but I will not stop, Eric. I will not stop, because I know that what I have in me through the power of the Holy Spirit is not going to stop. I'm not going to stop because again, it's never too early or too late to create the life of your dreams. Mm-hmm. And that will evolve. That does change. But the thing is, you have to keep in motion. So back to what you just said about depending on others. Yes. And that's one of the reasons why it's imperative to know, Eric, because you're so generous with your information, but you're very generous with that networking and helping others. And then obviously you have a business, and that business can help companies like myself evolve even further.
You want to know what I think the key to success is, Megan?
What?
Is create smiles. 1, make God smile. 2, make your client smile. Mm-hmm. You got to create smiles. That's all you got to do. Mm-hmm. If you get that smile, you're good to go. And there's so many different ways, and automate your business too, guys. If you're not automating your business, you better get with that. That's another. So what we've done is we've literally collaborated and linked up with hundreds, as you saw, 120 something affiliates. So that probably about 150 at this point. So anything we don't do, we bring in the experts that can do, because in actuality, to really be successful and get to that 6, 7, 8 figure income, life, you need the team. And you need the experts. You need the team. You need the team. The team needs the team, and they need help. And it's the team is everything.
Amen.
And so we've just affiliated. We've actually come up with a very unique way, very unique strategy to not have to do the traditional pay a bunch of salaries and pay a bunch of people things. We've created the win-win scenario like crazy. We've created the most unbelievable affiliate system that takes care of everybody. And we get everybody business. I mean, we've gotten so many people business off of the system that we've created in television and whatever. We're just a lead generation machine, and the other thing too, you said that you want the golden nuggets, the advice thing. Guys, when you have an opportunity to be on a stream like this, make it about you guys. I want to know who's out there right now. There's people watching. I want to know who you are, where you're from, what you do, how I can serve you. Okay, I want to give you a free interview. I want to connect with you. I want you to capture and make sure you position. Don't put the cart before the horse. I see so many people that are going on to media and going on to live streams that are not ready to collect data. You're wasting your time, and you're not going to make money. You have to be in position to collect data. So in our case, we say text easy way to 55678. That's our vehicle to collect data and meet new people. And if I can get one person out of that one person may know 10,000 people. Mm-hmm. I go for one whale that knows 100,000 people. Mm-hmm. And if you stick to that and you make it about them, like I came up with a unique concept, and you're welcome to use this if you want. I call it the virtual handshake effect. Give me a pound. Go ahead and do this with your fist. See, boom. Yeah. So just have fun with it on screen. So I created the virtual handshake effect, and I've helped so many people as I'm live. Like right now, I'm waiting for people to comment so I can promote you, because I guarantee you this is going to go to a lot of people. Between me and Megan, it's going to go out there. Okay, so now is where you don't want to be shy. You want to say hello, and you want to say, hey, I'm from North Carolina, or I'm from Arizona, and this is what I do. I'm going to mention that on live, and I'm going to serve you. And I've done that, and so many things have happened. It's miraculous, amazing things have happened. People have contacted me and said, hey, thank you for the love that you've shown me. By the way, I own this ice cream franchise or whatever. Whenever you get a chance to be on stream, project the love. Okay, project the love as much as you can. And it's not about you, it's about your audience. It's not about you, it's about your audience. It's not about you, it's about your audience. The more that you make it about your audience, the more successful you're going to be with not just streaming, but business in general.
Well, let me share how we met. And it's the same way I met Carla Sequeira. Mm-hmm. Is that at night, instead of turning the TV on, I go to something that interests me in Facebook or someone. And then I read the other people's comments. And when the comment is interesting, then I'll go, it's like this thread. And one evening there was a thread back to you, and I commented, and then you commented back.
Well, we actually met through Lila.
Well, we met through Lila initially, but we met through Lila, but again, how you called me that time.
We met through Lila, but I would say the validation of the relationship happened on social media. We communicated a lot more. We built the relationship, and we realized that legitimacy and that validation was there by connecting with each other.
Lila Colgan is a lovely gal, and she's very involved with Easy Way Network and Easy Way Hall of Fame. And so you became aware of me through Lila, but it was that social media connection. And this, and other people like Carlos, I did the same thing. There was a connection, and then I commented on something he said on his.
And we actually coach Carlos. We're the ones that helped him get on StreamYard and do a show and everything. And he's on the network. And then what did we do? What did we do after that? We served each other. I brought you on my show with James Dentley and Eric Stoller, and you positioned you as an expert, that much more of the expert you already are. And I'm going to be bringing you on again next Tuesday. By the way, if anybody's watching this, put it in your calendar. I got some questions for her, man. I don't know if she's ready. I got some questions for this one.
Ready.
And if you have any questions, and if you guys want to be a part of the show, we're very interactive. And then you brought me on your show, and I'm now getting to your audience, and don't be stingy with your audience. You know what I mean?
And, you know, a gentleman named, I sent this off to you, but I'm going to give Shay Brown a shout out. But when I was on the show the other evening, and he has a fabulous show called The Happy Entrepreneur, and amazing guy, and he just really, really cool person too. And he messaged me and said, I really want to meet Eric Zuley. I said, okay, I'll connect. So that is what Eric is saying. Don't let a stone go unturned. If you're led to something, reach out, because it is truly that next person will lead. I say, take that first step. The second and third step will be revealed to you, because you don't have to create everything. God will guide you to the next step.
Amen.
You know?
Yep.
So I just, basically I closed the show with, I ask everyone the same thing. Just wanted to double check the time. I'm sure you've read 3 Feet from Gold, Greg Reed and Sharon Lechter. And, and generally, the story for one who has not read it, the beginning is about this gentleman from the East Coast during the gold rush, and came out west and bought I don't even know, a mine, I guess, or a piece of it, and started chipping away and looking for, the gold in the gold rush. And the townies were watching him, and he was getting more and more frustrated. And he finally gave up and sold that vein, or the potential to it, to one of the townies. And that person continued to chip away, and he was 3 feet from gold. So how many times have we chipped away and said, forget about it, and moved on, but you didn't stay with what was your dream, goal, and desire? And maybe that wasn't his dream, goal, and desire, because he then became successful, that person that they were speaking about. And he learned from that mistake, so to speak, of giving up. But Sharon and Greg have put together what they call in that book the success formula. And the success formula is passion plus talent times action, passion plus talent times association. No, wait a minute. It's no, I'm saying it wrong. But passion plus your talent times association times action plus faith equals success. Okay. Okay. So passion plus talent. So I don't want you to share all of those points, but what I would like you to think about is, what is your passion and what is your talent?
Passion is helping people. That's easy. Passion is helping people to find the light, and helping people that can help people. They can helping people to have big communities that can make bigger differences. My talent, I would say, I have a lot of talents. Man, wait until you follow me, guys. I can dance, I can rap. I think my rapping is kind of cool. I can rap and make you smile. And then you guys didn't know, I just bust out a little freestyle right at the top of the dome. I'm here in my home, but I have no microphone, and I'm not alone. I got Megan here with me. And you didn't know that I have abilities that's just like here to the end. And you know what we're saying is not for pretend. And just make sure that you press the send button and listen to what we're saying. And then notice how every time we're talking, we're praying. And, so I can do that all. So that's kind of talent. I dance. But I think my talent is I adopt. I'm able to absorb things pretty quickly. I learn and I adopt things quicker than most. And I would put that back to God, because God gives a gift. God gives talent to everybody. And I think that, not everybody recognizes it and realizes it. And, I just put all my efforts and what I do to faith. I leave it in his hands. And, but that's a great question. Can I steal that? Can I use that for my show?
Sure.
Just kidding.
We'll, as long as we give Sharon and Greg the,
just so you know, a little background, Sharon and Greg are on the Wall of Fame. We're actually honoring them at our big awards ceremony that's going to happen at the end of this year. And they're what we call celebrity influencers on the wall. I knew Greg from 12, 13 years ago, there's a big event we did called the Ascent Expo. And then I met Sharon through Emily Letran maybe 6, 7 years ago when I did an interview with her. But guys, again, these amazing people that we're talking about, the microphone is what got me to them. And I bet you're the same way, right? The microphone is the key. That little microphone that you see at the bottom left of Megan's thing, and the microphone that you use when you do a podcast or you interview somebody, that's actually a golden skeleton key. It really is. It opens up every door. You just need to really learn how to turn it. It's so powerful.
Love that. That is wonderful. Yes. And as Sharon always speaks about, that power of association. And that is what we're, truly doing. And I just want to tie everything back to what you've been speaking about, meaning that we're not unique. We're all unique. We're created by God. And it's just about, we're here as facilitators to help you look inside and find that uniqueness, I'm going to take away from that word, the thing that, again, that passion and talent. That's why I asked that question, because we all have a passion and we all have a talent. I was asked that question on a show not too long ago about how do you find that? Let's say you've just lost your job. And I said, you have to take that proverbial legal pad out and do that column. What makes your heart sing? And then what doesn't, and find that passion. And then the rest will, because you're talking about the tree. A quote I read not too long ago, that God creates a tree, not a table. So we have to build that muscle, like you said, and then go on from there, and the table will come. From there. Well, Eric Zuley, thank you, sir, for joining me today. It was a pleasure.
Well, thank you for having me, Megan. I appreciate it. And I look forward to our show Tuesday at 4:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can go. Do you mind if I tell them how they're able to watch it? So
no,
if you let me share the screen one more time, I'll show them the link that they actually go to. This is our blog post that we do with our membership and our Wall of Fame. And basically, if you go to easywaywalloffame.com, you click on news. When you click on news, it's going to take you to all the different posts, and basically you go right here where it says Easy Talk Live episode 1117. So that's the date that we're going to do it. So if you click on that, all the information, and you'll just be able to show or follow the process. And this is where it'll be live at. There's Megan right there. So all the information, and we're going to push you out there, Megan, in a big way. We're going to make it get our 15 something people to push things, and it's going to be a really awesome show on how to master your podcast, right? How to master your media. And I think that's a really important piece right now, a really important piece of information that people need right now, desperately. And then how to monetize your media, how to accelerate your audience. And audience is how you make money with media. So it's going to be a power panel, podcast. It's going to be great giveaways and opportunities, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And it's going to be, similar to what this was. And I had a lot of fun. So thank you for having me on. And I hope that your audience checks out the easywaywalloffame.com. I hope that you create your account so they can follow you on that. We can support you. You support us. And I look forward to meeting your audience and doing. Remember the virtual handshake, guys? Come shake my hand.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Megan. Talk to you soon.
Wait in the green room. I'll see you in a minute. So I know that this blessed you. It blessed me. So go and share this show. Share it out with all of your groups that you're involved with, all of your friends. Share this show, because Eric shared so much information. And then go to the Easy Way Network and just spend some time throughout it. It truly will help you to think through things that you're trying to do. And there'll be so many experts on that with their own shows that give, like he was sharing today, that will help you take that first step, and the second and third step will be revealed to you. So share this show out, and make sure that you go to the official Megan DiMartino Facebook page that we're building. This is on both my personal page as well as that Megan DiMartino official page, but we're building that. And soon my business course will be ready and out for you all to help you start, scale, and sustain your business, but most importantly, to start. Thank you again for joining us today, and I will see you Monday on Teach, Motivate, and Inspire at 4 o'clock Central. And then as Eric shared on Tuesday, and that will be 6 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Pacific time on the Easy Way Network show with Eric Zuley. Have a blessed weekend, and we'll see you Monday.